All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Nashville. My name is George DeMarco, Chairman of the Electronic Security Expo, and on behalf of the ESX owners and sponsors, the Central Station Alarm Association, and the Electronic Security Association, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the ESX IceBreaker Luncheon. We're here to kick off ESX 2012 and to give the participants in the event a chance to get to know each other. So let's take 1 minute right now and say hi to an old friend or introduce yourself to any new folks at your table. Come on, guys. So from California, I made a prediction of a card. So I want somebody to yell out name of a card, any card from a 52 card. Ace of Spades? Ace of Spades? Who said that? Over here, Ace of Spades? You sure that's what you want? You sure? You want to change your mind? Or change the mind you have? No? Ace of Spades. So if there was Ace of Spades on this card, would that be pretty impressive?
I'd be impressed with you.
There's an Ace of Spades right there. Okay, thank you. Our program has several parts. We're going to kick off with remarks from ESX All-Star host ADS Security. That would be Mel's company. And we're going to have a presentation from an industry veteran, Marianna Perry. Then we're going to recognize the winners of CSA's New Marketing Marvel Award, ESA's Youth Scholarship Award, and the Security Industry Alarm Coalition's William N. Moody Award, and of course the PDQ Awards. As you can see, we've got a packed program. So let's kick it off by welcoming John Sarasulu, President and COO at ADS Security, the 2000 ESX All-Star host company. John, if you can join me. ESX is proud to have contributions from one of the electronic security industry's leading companies as this year's All-Star host company. ADS has graciously contributed to the programming for this year's event. Headquartered right here in Nashville, Tennessee, ADS Security is ranked the 23rd largest electronic security firm in the nation, according to the 22nd annual Top 100 rankings compiled by SDM. ADS is the only Tennessee-based company to hold a position among SDM's prestigious top 25 slots and has ranked in the top 100 for more than 20 years. Please welcome John.
Well, lucky for you guys, I left my card tricks at home. But on behalf of the 280 employees of ADS Security, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of you. It's great to have you here. We are thrilled that ESX chose Nashville for the site of this great show, and honored that ADS Security was invited to be the host company. It's really an honor to have the chance to participate in such a great event and play a small role in the great stuff that's going to happen this week. Many of you know that I've only been in the industry for a short time, just 4 short years, a lot shorter than most of you in this audience. But one of the things that stood out to me, really from day one when I joined ADS Security, was the spirit and the camaraderie between players in this industry. It's really unlike anything that I've ever experienced in my career. And there's no better example, I think, of that than ESX, where we all come together for a couple days, share best practices and ideas, and find ways to help each other serve our customers better, grow faster, and create value. And it really is a unique thing, and I encourage everyone to take advantage this week in the short time we're here together to make sure you bring something home that you can help to improve the operations of your companies. We've got a number of you coming to our office for a tour this afternoon. We're really excited to have the chance to show off our wonderful facility and more importantly, our great people. So I'm excited that we'll have the chance to see a bunch of you at our office. And I sure hope all of you have the chance while you're here to enjoy a little bit of Nashville. It is a wonderful city, has a lot to offer. So take the time while you're here to see a little bit of Broadway and stop in a honky-tonk and take a little bit of that with you, because we all look forward to having you back again here next year when we do this again in 2013. Welcome to Nashville, and look forward to seeing all of you this week.
Thank you, John. We really appreciate your help in making this a successful event. Today's featured speaker is Marianna Perry. Marianna is a safety and security consultant trainer. She is also adjunct faculty in the Department of Justice and Public Safety Administration at Sullivan University. Marianna is the former director of the National Crime Prevention Institute at the University of Louisville. Was previously the general manager at one of the region's largest private security companies and is a former trooper and detective with the Kentucky State Police. She's a member of the American Society for Industrial Security International, where she is a member of the Crime and Loss Prevention Council. And she has also earned through ASIS the title of Certified Protection Professional. And I just learned that she is an Army mom, and she has a son in Afghanistan as a second lieutenant. Please welcome Marianna to the stage.
The Transportation Security Administration and the DHS Office of Intelligence and Analysis are releasing this video to raise general security awareness, and it is part of our ongoing effort to provide information about the evolving terrorist threat to the United States. This product is intended to provide perspective and understanding of the nature and the scope of the threat posed to the United States, given the critical role played by federal, state, local, and tribal government agencies and authorities and private sector security partners. Al-Qaeda and its associates have persisted for decades in their goal to attack the United States. Over the past 18 months, we have seen a diversification of the homeland threat in terms of groups, tactics, and operatives, as well as public proclamations of support for homeland targeting, which suggests that Al-Qaeda and its affiliates will try to conduct operations in the U.S. with greater frequency. The success of Al-Qaeda and its affiliates in deploying operatives to the U.S. and their demonstrated ability to operate in the homeland undetected reiterates our concern that another attack could happen with little or no warning. The guilty plea by U.S. citizen Najibullah Zazi and the arrest of his two associates who are allegedly plotting to attack the New York City subway system, as well as the attempted bombings on Northwest Airlines Flight 253 and Times Square, underscore our assessment that attacking the United States continues to be a top Al-Qaeda priority. Although the deaths of senior members may have degraded Al-Qaeda in Pakistan's operational capability, Al-Qaeda maintains the intent and the capability to attack the United States. Until recently, Tariq-e-Taliban and Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula only conducted attacks in the countries of their origins. Their claims of responsibility, however, for the Times Square and Northwest Airlines attacks indicates that they have expanded their focus to include attacks against the United States. Al-Qaeda's success in recruiting Westerners, including U.S. persons, increases the group's knowledge of Western and American culture and security practices, raising the potential for a successful attack. Since 2008, many U.S. persons have traveled to Pakistan for terrorist purposes, and upon their return to the U.S., were able to operate undetected by law enforcement, and in some cases for many months. Some of these individuals include Raja Khan, a Chicago-based Pakistani-American who was indicted for transferring funds to a radical Pakistani leader with ties to Al-Qaeda and a plan to bomb a large sports stadium in the United States, is also pending trial. David Coleman Headley, a Chicago-based Pakistani-American who pleaded guilty for his role in planning the Mumbai attacks and may have conducted surveillance in Denmark to support a future attack. Najibullah Zazi and Zarain Ahmedhedzi pleaded guilty for plotting to attack the New York subway system last year. And Faisal Shahzad, the alleged perpetrator of the attempted bombing in Times Square on the 1st of May of this year. The effectiveness of violent extremist messages and propaganda by American-born, English-speaking terrorists operating from abroad is emerging as a recurring theme in plots to attack the United States. Several English-speaking ideologues promote terrorism through lectures, online propaganda, and personal communications with U.S.-based sympathizers. Chief among them is Yemen-based Anwar al-Awlaki, who in an online posting in July 2009 admonished armies occupying Muslim lands and encouraged attacks against military forces, including the United States. Al-Awlaki subsequently commended the actions of alleged Fort Hood attacker Nidal Hassan and encouraged Muslim organizations in the United States to support Hassan's assault. A recurrent theme in several recent plots is the influence of al-Awlaki's recorded English-language messages, which preach a violent interpretation of selected Islamic tenets fitting within a broader, violent, extremist worldview. Aside from al-Awlaki, other U.S. persons serving in key recruitment and facilitation roles for al-Qaeda and its affiliates, including Adam Gadan, a U.S.-born senior spokesperson for al-Qaeda in Pakistan, who recently released a video titled A Call to Arms and publicly called for others to emulate the attack on Fort Hood.
We must look to further undermine the West's already struggling economies with carefully timed and targeted attacks on symbols of capitalism, which will again shake consumer confidence and stifle spending. We must keep in mind how even apparently unsuccessful attacks on Western mass transportation systems can bring major cities to a halt, cost the enemy billions, and send his corporations into bankruptcy.
Omar Hamami, a likely battlefield commander for al-Shabaab, who has appeared in al-Shabaab media productions urging individuals to travel to Somalia to take part in terrorist training. There were a few opportunities from an intelligence perspective to disrupt recent small-scale, relatively fast-paced attack plans. The low level of pre-operational activity minimized the ability to detect and deter the plots. For instance, the operatives purchased their explosive materials in ways that would not necessarily arouse suspicions. Zazi avoided the scrutiny of law enforcement officials by purchasing small amounts of precursor chemicals from beauty supply stores in the Denver area. Faisal Shahzad is similarly alleged to have purchased all of his materials from local stores. At one point, his landlord witnessed multiple bags of fertilizer in his garage. A subsequent search revealed both fertilizer and fireworks. Fortuitous arrests of U.S. persons in the summer of 2009 illustrate an even more challenging phenomena, that of autonomous violent extremists operating without direct guidance or instructions from al-Qaeda or its associated groups. Hussam Smadi in Texas, Michael Curtis Fenton in Illinois, and James Cromartie in New York all reportedly approached law enforcement informants or undercover agents to obtain weapons and explosives that they intended to use in a terrorist attack. State, local, tribal, and private sector partners play a critical role in identifying suspicious activities and raising the awareness of federal counterterrorism officials. The purchase of explosive precursors, such as those made by Zazi and Shahzad, are unlikely to be observed by federal officials unless reported by private sector and state, local, and tribal partners through suspicious activity reporting channels. Fostering more private sector awareness and increased coordination in federal, state, local, and tribal analysis of suspicious activity reports could provide warning of plotting in its earliest stages or aid in detecting individuals previously unknown to the intelligence community.
Terrorist activity is primarily directed at causing economic damage and bringing attention to causes through significant loss of lives and property. The 9/11 terrorist attacks on the World Trade Towers and the Pentagon changed our world. The Homeland Security Act of 2002 and the establishment of the Department of Homeland Security restructured the way federal agencies perform their security functions. It's estimated that about 85% of the nation's infrastructure is privately owned. This includes all of the physical assets, energy-producing facilities and their assets, utilities, transportation, and communication networks. Public-private sector partnerships to protect the United States just make sense. The Customs Trade Partnership Against Terrorism, CTPAT, is the largest government private sector partnership to emerge from the terrorist attacks of September 11th. Organizations who voluntarily comply with CTPAT guidelines agree to establish security controls that reduce the risk to cargo shipments and which in turn helps in the fight against terrorism. The If You See Something, Say Something campaign. That works in conjunction with the nationwide Suspicious Activity Reporting Initiative. This concept, all of these concepts are not just homeland security, they're hometown security. These programs involve creating partners by making the general public more aware of the indicators of terrorism and violent crime. And we want to encourage everyone to contact law enforcement if they see something suspicious. These information sharing partnerships enhance public safety by making the community more aware of the threats and involving them in the problem-solving process. Public-private sector partnerships are not new. They're just more visible since 9/11. In response to Homeland Security efforts and the threat of terrorism, terrorism prevention partnerships are also effective crime prevention partnerships. Collaboration is the key word in all partnerships because all partners must recognize that their goals or missions overlap and they have to work together and share resources. They share the skills, the knowledge, and the expertise in order to achieve their goals. In order for a partnership to be successful, each partner has to understand the value that they will gain from participating in the partnership. Successful partnerships involve partners that are committed to working together to achieve common goals. I've worked with Glenn Mowry to promote the efforts of SEAC, the Security Industry Alarm Coalition. This is a very positive and successful partnership with it's used to promote the alarm management programs. I've also participated in several other successful partnership projects. One project in particular involved many partners. We had the local university, we had the police department, the health department, security consultants, a local community center, a neighborhood church. We had business owners. We had the local housing authority as well as private citizens that lived in that community. Our goal was to address not only violent crime in that area and deterioration of that neighborhood, but we wanted to improve the overall quality of life for everyone who lived or worked in that area. A joint training program was held in order to educate partners to recognize suspicious activities. The training program was critical to our partnership because we brought together all of these individuals and they all had different professional cultures. And we needed to ensure that we had a common language so that we could communicate with each other. The goal was to involve all of these partners in crime prevention and terrorism prevention strategies. We also needed to ensure that all of the partners were on the same page. We needed to make sure that everyone was working together as a cohesive unit. Throughout the week-long training program, interaction between the individuals in the groups improved. And we found that trust was built, and this encouraged communication and encouraged the transfer of information between the individuals in the groups. The project was successful, and it brought all of the partners together for the good of that particular community. Public-private sector partnerships are a crucial element in community policing, but they should not only be used when there is a crisis situation. Community policing is a strategy based on the idea that community interaction and support can help control crime when there's an ongoing relationship between law enforcement and members of the community. This strategy and its partnerships should be proactive in preventing or deterring terrorist attacks as well as preventing or deterring crime. Whether it's terrorism prevention or crime prevention, security should be proactive and about protecting people and assets. Security should be considered an investment, not a cost. Thank you. Enjoy the week at ESX.
Thank you, Marianne. And we wish you and your son a safe return. I hear that he's going to be hopefully coming back in September, right? So we wish you all the best there. Now it's time to honor some excellent work and dedication among our peers in the industry, and I'd like to call up Dom Discoli, Stan Martin, and Scott Goldfein to the stage, please. As they're coming up, we're going to begin with ESA's Youth Scholarship Award, presented by ESA President Dom Discoli.
Now I see why you kept blinking lights. Good afternoon. It is a great honor for me to welcome three very special individuals who I've been spending some time with. Emma, I'd like you to come up to the stage with your parents, Nancy and Mark Soneson. I think I got that pretty good, didn't I? I like the hat. It's a nice touch. Because of Emma's academic achievements, Emma is the first place winner of ESA's Youth Scholarship Program. Now, I want to add, this isn't in my script, I've been fortunate enough to visit several states and meet some of these young adults in different states. And I'll tell you, it's very difficult for this scholarship committee to make a decision on. Emma stood out, and that's what they told me very much. And now after meeting her and talking to her, I can see why. But any of the state chapters that are in here this afternoon, that have not partaken in the youth scholarship, I think you need to. It's a great program. People like me love it and like seeing us give away and help these young adults in their careers. Emma is from Higganum, Connecticut. She graduated as the valedictorian from Hampden Kenilworth High School. I'm probably murdering these. With a 4.28 GPA, Emma was also president of the National Honor Society, Future Leaders of Hampden Kenilworth, and the Photo Club. I told you I was going to mess it up. In addition, Emma has volunteered at the University of Connecticut Health Center as a research assistant since June of 2011. Mark Soneson, Emma's father, is a policeman at the Berlin Police Department. Emma says that this about her father, and this I'll absolutely read. As a policeman, my father gives up his private interests for the larger public good. His choice of career has inspired me to also choose a career path in which I will be able to reach out and help people. Emma will attend Yale University this fall. She plans on continuing her education with hopes of one day becoming an anesthesiologist. ESA began the scholarship program many years ago as a way for us to honor and thank our partners in the public safety. This year, ESA and our participating chapters gave away more than $47,500 in scholarships nationwide. Emma, where's my check? Don't try and cash this. It's a check. We're going to get a picture of, there you go. For $7,500. Emma will have a short thank you.
would really like to thank ESA for this scholarship, especially with the cost of post-secondary education being so high. $7,500 is a huge step towards helping me pay for my first year of college. And I would also like to thank you for flying me down here and putting me up in Nashville. I've never been before. It's been an exciting experience so far. We've already gone to the Country Music Hall of Fame, and tonight we're going to the Opry. So I'm having a great time here. And most of all, I'd like to thank my parents for being such great inspirations in my life and for supporting me in everything I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you, family. And I'll turn the podium back over to George.
Thank you, Dom. Very impressive. Let's give her another round of applause. Yale University. Next up is SEAC's William N. Moody Award, and it's going to be announced by Stan Martin, Executive Director of SEAC. Stan.
Thank you, George. And thank you to ESX, ESA, and CSAA for, again, giving us this opportunity to participate in this award today. We're actually going to do 3 awards, new one today, starting with our SEAC Board Service Recognition Award. Then we're going to do the Moody Award, and then the PDQ Award. The board, I think most of you know, is made up of 2 members from each of the 4 sister associations, ESA, SEA, CSAA, and CANASA, and then Chairman Leo Goodart. The choice of those board reps are actually made by you all, your associations, so we don't pick our board reps, you all do. Today, for the first time, we're going to recognize some of the past board recipients, the ones that just board members who went off our board just this last year, and you know, for their faithful and professional service to SEAC and this industry. And just kind of going through the list, only 2 of them are here, but all 4 that we're going to recognize, we're going to mail the other 2. Charlie Darsh, and I'd like them to come up. There's 2 of them here. Charlie Darsh, Kim Schellenberg, Karen McGee, and Ralph Sevenar. I know Charlie and Ralph are here, so you guys come on up and get your plaques. Great, thank you. Two-piece awards, that's a trick, you know. See if you can get back to the table without dropping it. Okay. Okay, let's move along to the William N. Moody Award. I'm going to have Ron Walters, who is a SEAC director and our alarm ordinance expert, in case you didn't know it. He's going to talk just a moment or 2 about the award. And as he's getting ready to say that, I would like the past recipients of the William N. Moody Award, if you're present here today, to come on up and line up right in the middle of the stage, if you would. So past recipients of the Moody Award, please step up this way, right in the center. I'll direct you. Meanwhile, I'm going to let Ron talk.
Thank you, Stan. The William N. Moody Award was created in 2004 by the SEAC Board of Directors. The purpose of this is to acknowledge these special few individuals who unselfishly give of their time and talents to alarm management, and who reflect the attributes of Bill Moody, which include integrity, fairness, and perseverance in the face of adversity. Very unique qualities in honor of a very special person indeed. For those of you who don't know Bill, he's retired now. Yeah, it's kind of unique in this industry to give out an award named after somebody who's still alive, and I assure you that Bill is very much alive, and and very active. He's living in Sparta, New Jersey. He would love to be here today, but circumstances prevent that. But in honor of him, you see these great individuals that have already received the award and the two individuals that will receive it today.
Thank you, Ron. And we are pleased this year that we have two recipients. Let me just, in case anybody doesn't know these fine folks up here, we got Bill Cooper on the end, Bob Boniface, Ivan Spector, John Sargent, and Jay Hahn. Jay was last year's winner. So let's give these guys a round too. Our first recipient today is Maria Melise, and she's been active in the alarm industry for over 25 years, serving on various committees, and you can read your little brochure on that, and a current member of the board of directors for ESA. She's been president of the Arizona Alarm Association for several years now, and has been an indispensable part of the leadership that had to deal with the very first ordinance in Arizona that tried to pass fines directly to the alarm company. In addition, she's had more than her fair share of issues this year in Arizona. She had to deal with the Tucson alarm ordinance. Originally, Tucson wanted to go to non-response. We worked around that issue, and finally, they were really ready to embrace the full model ordinance in Tucson, but we ended up with a few dealers in the Tucson area that didn't like any part of that, and she had to contend with our own industry as well as the media and in supporting the Tucson Police Department. On top of that, they actually went through state licensing law again this year, and under her leadership actually got it approved this year. She's had victory on every front. Through it all, she's remained focused, professional, always on task, organizing dealers, reviewing documents, traveling to numerous meetings, many times hours away from where she lives. She's a leader. She's a team player who deals with critical issues head on, just as true leaders do. Not only that, but she's someone who never grew weary of all that it faced, and particularly all the adversity that she had to deal with, which is true to Bill Moody's character. So it's my personal pleasure and honor to introduce to you our first recipient of the 2012 William N. Moody Award, Maria Melise, Vice President of COPS Monitoring. One more, you got to say a few words, and then we got one more to do.
I'll make this brief. I was told I get a minute, I think. But most importantly, I want to thank all the people that made this possible. You know, there is no I in team, and my staff that works for us at the Arizona Alarm Association, as well as my board, are very active, and it's wonderful to know that when I say, I need help and I need you to go here and do this, that they jump and do it. And of course, I have to thank COPS, because without them allowing me the time to do the work I do, it would not be possible. And then my friends at SEAC, who, if I call, they're on the next plane, and there's never a hesitation for them to come out and help. And I thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Again, we're going to get a group picture here after we get our next recipient up here. Our next recipient is Mel Mahler, the current vice chairman of the SEAC Board of Directors. He also serves as treasurer and a member of the fundraising committee. Mel has a tireless task of keeping up with daily issues, providing key insight and leadership to all of us. Though he oversees a very active 70,000 account company, the one that's sponsoring some of these events today that John represented when he was up here, ADS Security, he always finds time to help SEAC in this industry with issues. Certainly Mel could be doing other things. He could be in full retirement. He could be enjoying life instead of dealing with all these issues, but he's a bridge builder. He's always working behind the scenes to bring parties together, and with his vast corporate experience, he's just an incredible asset to our team in this industry. He just keeps working day after day, and I'm hoping, as you all hope, I'm sure that he continues for many years to come. He's a man of integrity, a true Southern gentleman who deeply cares about this industry and constantly demonstrates it through his actions. Please join me in congratulating this year's second William N. Moody Award winner, Mel Mahler.
I just want to add one thing about Mel. How many of you in here think that Mel has brought a lot to the industry? And to those 285 employees that Mel has brought into this industry, you can thank me. This was my 25th customer when I went in the alarm business.
One more. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Mel. We skipped right by you, didn't we?
Yeah, you never want to give me a microphone, you know what happens. But there's a lot of dedicated people in this room that are concentrating on protecting life, property. No one does it better. But I got to tell you, when I first met Bill Moody, I considered him to be the best among the best. And when I was president of the Central Station Alarm Association, the highest award that we give in that association is the Stan Lott Award, and I presented that to Bill Moody. So that's what I think about that gentleman. Also, we've got there's 8 members of the board, and I think we've got, including myself, 5 here, right? Jay's on the board, Ivan's on the board, Bob's on the board. Who am I missing? Oh, Mike Miller, who's sitting over there. So we got 5 of the 8. Just a word, if I could, about SEAC. It's 100% dependent on dues. And if you take the contributions of Honeywell, the Security Industry Alarm Coalition, and ADT, that's 3/4 of the contributions. Everybody in this room needs to contribute to the Security Industry Alarm Coalition. You know, we're very fortunate in ADS Security in that we have not had one jurisdiction go to non-response. The only time it ever came close to happening, and you remember that, I called my good friend Ron Walters, who, by the way, before I joined this industry, he was my alarm company down in Miami. And he was in our Savannah, Georgia operation like that, and he stopped it right in its tracks. And it happened just the way it normally happens. We had a city manager leave and a new city manager come in. And even the member of the alderman, the senior alderman in the town, was the guy we bought the alarm company from in Savannah. I mean, he was our friend. But even with that, they were going. And Ron Walters made that happen. That's what SEAC does every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mel, and thank you, Maria, and thank you to the past recipients. Okay, moving along to our final award of the day, the PDQ Award, Police Dispatch Quality. I'm going to introduce Scott Goldfein, Editor-in-Chief of Security Sales and Integration. Scott?
Good afternoon. It's indeed a pleasure to be here again at a great ESX event. I can't believe it's already the 5th one. I think we moved the PDQ here about 3 years ago, and we're glad we did. It's a great venue, and it's great to see so many friends and colleagues and familiar faces again. The PDQ program was established jointly in 2005 by the Security Industry Alarm Coalition, False Alarm Reduction Association, and Security Solution Integration, and now it's also officially endorsed by the Installation Quality Program. The Police Dispatch Quality Award Program targets the false alarm issue by recognizing those installing and monitoring companies that follow established industry practices and partner with law enforcement to achieve the highest quality in police dispatch requests. Companies are judged not only on their alarm rate, but also their training, literature, use of industry-recommended practices like enhanced call verification, CSCP01 equipment, follow-up with customers, tracking problem accounts, and more. Additionally, a police department must be supportive of the award and submit a letter confirming the alarm rate and acceptability of the applicant. Applications are scored by 4 independent judges in 15 different areas. The goal of the PDQ program is to raise industry-wide awareness, motivate alarm companies to be proactive, and provide models that work for others to follow. In addition to today's presentation and award, the winner will also be profiled in a major feature in the October issue of SSI, and we're delighted to be an ongoing partner in this important industry program. And now to turn it back over to my colleague Stan, who's going to announce this year's winner and also tell you a little bit about their outstanding alarm management practices and successes. So thank you once again, Stan.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you for being the media sponsor today and for this award. Also, I'd like to acknowledge co-sponsor Honeywell and the work that they do in supporting SEAC and this award. Gordon Hope, I believe, hope you're still over there, Gordon, I can't see you. Come on up here. One of the things that Honeywell does, this award, is actually give $1,000 to the recipient to do what they wish with, offset expenses, whatever. So that's another reason to apply for the PDQ award. As Scott mentioned, our recipient today was selected based on how well they scored in 15 areas. Now, I talked to the judges, and I understand that this was the most competitive year yet. The fact is that you cannot score low in any one of the 15 areas if you're going to make the top 3. In a change from what we've done in the past, I'm actually going to tell you who the top 3 people for consideration were this year, because all 3 did such an outstanding job in dispatch reduction programs. So even though you're not prepared, if you're from any one of these 3 companies, and I'll call them individually, I'd like you to stand there in no particular order. One of these 3 are going to win this today. I'd like, if you're an employee of the company, go ahead and just stand so you can be recognized. The 3 top companies, and I'm going to give you the winner in a moment here. Monotronics. If anybody's here from Monotronics, please stand, be recognized. Vector Security, and HS Technology Group. I know you all can't understand this, but I can't see hardly anything. So let's give these folks a round. I think a few people stood up. I hope. Well done, well done. And so, with great pleasure and distinction, I introduce to you the 2011, this is based on 2011 numbers, the winner of the Police Dispatch Quality Award is, incredibly, and what a great job, HS Technology Group. Baltimore, Maryland. Stuart. Are you here? There he is. Got a group, okay. Come on up. Thanks. Congratulations. Congratulations.
can't see anybody out there. Thank God for these lights. Scott, Stan, thank you very much, and the entire organization at SEAC for recognizing HS Technology Group. Our company will be celebrating our 20th year in business next year, so what a great way to start things off. I'd also like to thank Security Sales, ESX, FARA, Honeywell, and the rest of the judges. I'd like to thank our local law enforcement for who we work very closely with in our area to reduce false alarms. But most importantly, I'd like to thank our staff. I'd like to thank our staff back home. These are the ones who truly deserve this honor. Thank you again.
Thank you, Stu. Job well done. As we conclude today, I'd like to take a moment to thank SEAC's financial sponsors. Mel mentioned it. I can't go through all the names, but certainly the top three that consistently provide funding, Honeywell, CM, and ADT. Without them and all of you that make contributions, it just wouldn't be possible to do what we do. I just would, if you've made a financial contribution to SEAC in the past 18 months, I'd like you to stand and be recognized so we can all give you a hand. Please, if you've made a contribution, stand up so we can see who you are, and thank you. For anyone that wishes to make a donation, with the technology we have today, I can scan your card right here after lunch, or I can send you an invoice. So come see me. This concludes the SEAC portion of our program. I look forward to seeing you all throughout the rest of the conference and again next year. And now back to Scott Goldfine for the final presentation. Scott?
Thanks again, Stan. All right, we have a brand new award that we're introducing this year, and it's called the CSAA 5 Diamond Marketing Marvel Award. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it so you're familiar with it and you know why we're doing it and what it's about. Sponsored by Security Sales and Integration, the program was created to recognize companies that use their CSAA 5 Diamond certification in creative ways to gain a competitive advantage in the marketplace. Specifically, the purpose of the Marketing Marvel Award is to recognize and honor companies that use their CSAA 5 Diamond designation to better position themselves in the central station monitoring marketplace, inspire other CSAA 5 Diamond members to market their 5 Diamond advantage, heighten awareness of the 5 Diamond program to CSAA members and the industry at large, and elevate the profile of CSAA 5 Diamond companies for their professionalism to mainstream media and the general public. This year's winner and runner-up will be featured in an article in Security Sales and Integration's November issue and also in CSAA's Fall Dispatch. They'll also be encouraged to share their marketing success stories with CSAA's Board of Directors here at their ESX booth. A little bit about the 5 Diamond program for those of you that aren't aware. It was established in 2003 to differentiate the best CSAA companies within the monitoring industry. Companies must satisfy 5 points of excellence requirements, including the professional development and standardization of training for all of their central station operators, a commitment to random inspections and quality criteria standards by a NRTL, and a commitment to reducing false dispatches. SSI is thrilled to be associated with the Marketing Marvel program, and I'm personally honored to be among the judges that this year also included Jillian Bateman from AE Ventures. Jillian, are you out here somewhere? I can't see either, so hopefully raise your hand. And also Roy Oliver, Assistant Director of the Support Services Bureau for the Department of Public Safety Communications in Fairfax County, Virginia. I'd also like to thank the team, together with SSI and CSAA, that helped develop the Marketing Marvel program. Sandy Jones, President of Sandra Jones & Company, and Melissa Corvell, Head of Elite Client Care Services at DICE. I'd also like to thank CSAA's Monique Talbot for coordinating this entire effort. Thank you for that. And with that, no further ado, let's recognize this year's first Marvel runner-up and then the winner. The runner-up for this year's Marketing Marvel honor achieved CSA 5 Diamond certification back in 2009. Since then, the company has proudly touted its certification on its website, through social media, such as Facebook, and throughout its offices. The CSA 5 Diamond logo is one of the first things a visitor sees when going to the company's website. Also, prospective employees are shown and made aware of the certification's significance, and it has been leveraged to strengthen relations with the firm's insurance carrier. Let's have a nice round of applause. I understand our runner-up couldn't be here. There's travel issues going on in the East. But our runner-up is Alarm Tech Central Service of Ronkonkoma, New York. If we could have a round of applause for them. And they will have this sent to them, so congratulations to them. And now on to our winner, our very first Marketing Marvel winner. This company truly exemplifies what the Marketing Marvel program is all about. For starters, the firm has the CSA 5 Diamond logo on all available marketing collateral, including sales flyers, sales presentations, its website, business cards, and email tags. The company celebrated achieving certification by announcing it to the Chamber of Commerce, newspapers, and employees, clients, and prospects via email, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and a blogged press release. The certification is framed and posted in 3 spots within its offices and also featured in its trade show display. A dedicated 5 Diamond sales collateral piece has been developed, and the certification is also used for recruiting and insurance carrier interactions. That's what I call leveraging the 5 Diamond. So with that, please join me in congratulating our first Marketing Marvel winner, Red Wire of Tallahassee, Florida. All right, thank you, and I turn it back over to our host, Mr. George DeMarco.
What? Is it? You have something out there? What's going on? Is there a John Loud in the room? Is he here? He's here, right? John, can you come up on stage? I got a message for you. It says it's from your airline carrier. They're apologizing for losing your luggage. And there's good news and bad news. The bad news is that they found the luggage shredded, but one article of clothing was spared. The good news is I have it here. Come on up, John. Come on up. As most of you know, John showed off his boxers in the spoof on the DirecTV commercials, "Don't Let This Happen to You," about the perils of procrastination for registering late for the ESX. I am a little worried about it because it's in plastic, but we'll see here. Let's see what this is. Really, John? Harry the platypus.
They're your size.
They're my size.
Thank you.
Great job, thank you. And I can't wait until, yeah. I can't wait until next year, what you're going to do for next year. Now, you guys, we've had this fully, we have a lot of stuff on our program, but we got just a couple other housekeeping things to do. But I would be remiss if I did not recognize our fearless leader, the chairman of board for AIE, Ralph Sevigny, for his wonderful leadership and guidance for this year's ESX. Ralph, get up here. Because we bought one for you too. I think Stacy will enjoy it.
Yes, she will. Wonderful. What's it say? Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
And thank you very much. They're great. And I also want you guys to know, and please stand and take a bow if you are on the board of directors of AIE, and of course George Gunning for being the founding member of AIE. Please stand up and get a round of applause for everybody that's on the board. And finally, it takes a highly motivated team and talented group that makes the ESX a premier industry show. Please take a moment to recognize AE Ventures, led by John Galante and Nancy Franco, for doing a great job. Congratulations to all the winners. We know we packed a lot in here, but it's great to see everybody here, all the security professionals from around the country, to network and interact and make the industry that much better. We really appreciate you spending time with us today, and we want to make sure that you know that this is just the beginning. We have a keynote speaker featuring Kick Brooks tomorrow, and of course, we want you to join us for the crawl, and we can't be responsible for your actions on Thursday morning, but we want you to please enjoy and have a great afternoon in Nashville. Thank you for coming. Great time today. Thank you.